Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we have Jeff Parker here, who's going to give us all the latest and greatest information that you have acquired over the weekend. Happy Monday.
Good morning to you. Yes, we have some new numbers from the county and from the state, and a lot of the new numbers are good. So that's it's nice to be able to come and say, hey, things are looking like they're improving a little bit. Okay. Now, the relative numbers. So 125 is still this number of cases per 100,000, which is still way over the state, what the state is looking at. And then the active cases, ones that are positive cases, they want to see that percentage under 8. We were up in the 12, 14 there for a while when we had that big spike. We're now actually down to 9.1, which means we're heading in the right trend to get it under that 8%.
Good. So
that's really good. Probably the other one that's real positive, and this is occurring actually around us too, is that hospitalization rates are going down. For the last 3-day average, we're down 8.9% in hospitalizations. So that's really, really good news, because that's showing that even though the cases you may be seeing the positive cases, although that's dropping too. If positive cases are dropping, hospitalizations dropping, then the third one, which is ICUs, start to slow down a little bit, and then obviously the number of deaths.
Well, so that's exactly what we want to see.
So you can see that curve with regards to current hospitalizations, although they had a 1-day increase a little bit. It has certainly gone down in the last probably 7 to 8 days. So that's real positive. And then the ICU numbers have stayed, they're going down, but they're not dramatically jumping down. 171 cases is still higher than what we want to see, obviously, but that is 34% capacity. The other, I was looking back at some of my numbers, about 10 days ago we were at 42, type of thing. So that's down to 34, then it went all the way down to 30, almost 30%, which is getting pretty low. So we want to build that back up, obviously.
And the ICU numbers, the current ICU patient numbers, we probably won't see a big jump at all, because people usually remain there for some time, right?
Yeah. They are in there for a longer period of time. It's not just like a short hospitalization in and out. If you're in ICU, I think I don't know what the average day, but what I've been hearing is 15 to 30 days in ICU. So we'll get more stats and maybe talk about that next time I'm on. One of the things I wanted to mention was that Orange County also opened up the Anaheim Convention Center as a testing site. So they can do as many as 1,000 tests a day at the Anaheim Convention Center. Now, this is for people who can't get it through their own medical plan. So they still need to show that they have a reason. They can call up and talk to the county about that. It's open from Wednesday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But the ability to test that many people. Is it a
drive-through?
It's a drive-through.
Oh, it is, okay.
So it's really, they're trying to get it more and more efficient, trying to get more and more people into the testing system. Because as you can see, if you go back to the notes I mentioned, we had 558 positive cases and only 3,173 people tested. So they still want to keep the testing going, because that's going to give them the information that they need on who's getting sick, where they're getting sick, so they can do that tracing type of element. And that will help moving forward. So it is positive news on a number of those stats. One of the non-positive news, in the sense that it's creeping up still, is Laguna Woods itself. The community, last week we were in the, 10 days ago we were at 34. We're up to 39 cases now in Laguna Woods. So again, one of the lowest in the county. We're still in the, I'll call the top 5, the best communities in the county at 39. But it has creeped up a little bit, which means we're having a few additional cases. So again, it goes back to wearing these masks, social distancing as much as possible, and even if you have to get out, follow those kind of rules.
Right.
If you don't have to get out, the safest place to be is in your own environment at home.
Exactly, exactly. And then I am noticing that more and more restaurants, as we had mentioned before, are still doing their due diligence and making sure that they're only taking so many people. You have to have reservations. I mean, there's a big process that's gone into place, which is great. And maybe that's helping our numbers quite a bit too.
I think the move to probably not have the activities inside,
Yeah.
Because it's been proven if you're outside, airflow, all of that is better for the environment relative to not contracting the COVID-19. Having the fresh air, it does both good for you and good for addressing that issue. When you get into a closed environment, it seems to be much easier for the COVID-19 to spread. So I think closing down, unfortunately, it seems to having a positive effect on these numbers. So hopefully we can get those numbers down to the point where we don't have to stay that way, because I know people want to get out there and enjoy themselves and stuff like that.
They do.
The good news for us is we mentioned last week we got the pickleball doubles going. We ended up this weekend having the additional pool 4 open. So we continue to look at that. We're looking at some outdoor classes that we can put together going forward. So maybe we can provide some additional opportunities for people to get some exercise out there. Because we know they want to get out there.
Yeah.
And even though it's been a warm weekend, so maybe it was a good thing that we didn't start this week, but we got the pool open, so that's really positive.
No, that's good news. And that was for recreational use.
Correct. And then the last thing I mentioned on Friday, we got our machine back. I told you that we had sent the quarter machine. So that counting machine is back in here. We have it operational now. We're going through a change in our operation to collect the quarters. And so I'm hoping by Wednesday, I'll be able to come on TV and say exactly how we're going to implement getting those quarters out there and sell them back to our residents.
Perfect. I think that's great. Well, thank you so much for the information.
Yep.
You had a lot of good stuff.
Yep, it's a good day on Friday to have from Friday to Monday.
I know, it's a heck
good.
of a change. Well, good. Well, thank you for the info.
All right, thank you.
All right. And when we return, we will have Elsie Addington with the United Update, so stay tuned.